Every day we are surrounded by reasons to feel powerless. The government makes a decision you disagree with, foreign investors leaving Indonesia, the rupiah weakens, stock market might crash one day from a point to another point in which is unthinkable. You open your phone and it feels like there's another crisis that is waiting ahead of you. After consuming enough of this, it is easy to start believing, what difference can one person possibly have? You cannot control the government. You can control what foreign investors want to do in the Indonesian market. You cannot control whether the stock price that you own would go up or go down tomorrow. But that still does not really mean that your actions do not matter. Because the parts of the life that you can control, how you take care of yourself, where you put the time, where you put your money, and what causes you choose to support can still compound into something that is much bigger. And that is what this campaign is really about. Back in 2023, I weighed around 93 kilograms. I was a lot chubbier than today. And honestly, being fat was not the real problem. The real problem was that I managed to convince myself somehow that I had no choice. I was busy building a company. There was more work to do. There was always another problem for me to solve. So for a very long time, work took precedence over my life, my relationships, my health. I don't have time to exercise. It sounded more like a reasonable explanation to just sit on the couch and watch Netflix after I finished working. But eventually it became an excuse to accept a version of myself that I wasn't really happy with. And running, fortunately, changed that for me. Not because running is magical. I find it very boring, to be honest. But because every single run that I go for gives me a small piece of evidence that I was not completely powerless as an individual. One early morning, one uncomfortable kilometer, one decision to show up when I feel like I don't want to go for another run today. None of those actions look impressive on their own, really. It's just a run. But repeated over time, they change my health, they change my confidence, and they change the way I think about what one person is actually capable of doing. So running became a statement to myself that I might not be able to control everything around me, but I can still do something. And now I want to turn that personal lesson into something that can benefit other people as well. On July 5th, it's my 30th birthday, 2026. I will begin a 16-week public training journey towards my first full ever marathon at Jakarta Running Festival in October 2026. Over those 16 weeks or 4 months, my target is to complete 1,000 kilometers worth of running. Every kilometer will be publicly documented on Strava, and every kilometer that I complete, you can make a pledge to 1,000 Days Fund, which is a charity organization that we decide to work with. You choose the amount. It could be 1,000 rupiah per kilometer, it could be 500, it could be 5,000, 10,000 rupiah, it doesn't matter. Whatever makes sense to you. And if I finish the marathon under 3 hours and 10 minutes, I know this is a ridiculously ambitious time, every pledge will be doubled. So yeah, add to more fun. And I will personally pledge 5,000 rupiah for every single kilometer that I run leading to the marathon itself. That means 5 million rupiah if I manage to complete the full 1,000 kilometer target, and if I finish the marathon under 3 hours and 10 minutes, I will donate 10 million rupiah to 1,000 Days Fund. The marathon is only one part of this story. The more important part is where the money will actually go. 1,000 Days Fund is an Indonesian non-profit organization that works tirelessly to prevent childhood stunting by educating community health workers in East Nusa Tenggara. Those are like the Indonesians that are often overlooked. A child does not really get to choose where they are born. They do not get to choose if nutritious food is being served to them for the first 1,000 days of their lives. They do not choose whether their family has access to the right information regarding their nutrition. But the conditions that they experience during the first 1,000 days of their lives can shape the rest of their lives. When we give child access to better nutrition, we are not helping them today. We are giving a future adult and a better chance to contribute to their family and community. Maybe one of these children will be running a very important company in Indonesia next time. Maybe they will become a doctor, a teacher, or a public servant. Maybe they will create an industry that does not even exist today. We will probably never see the full return on our investments. And that is why precisely I think that this is the purest forms of long-term investing. At Recompound, we help busy professionals invest for the long term in the Indonesian equity market. 1,000 Days Funds invests in children whose futures might be neglected otherwise. The work is different, but the underlying belief is the same. Meaningful results often begin with actions that look small, slow, and invisible. One investment, one healthy meal, one trained community health worker, 1 kilometer, one pledge, which is yours. On their own might not seem like much, but good actions compound. Recompound. So what does this have to do with you? You probably have no interest in running 42 kilometers, or maybe you have completed a number of marathons or triathlons in the past. And that is completely fine. This campaign is not asking everyone to be a marathon runner. It is an invitation to stop underestimating what your own actions can do. Maybe your action is making a small pledge. Maybe it is sharing this campaign to one friend. Maybe it is finally taking your health more seriously. Or maybe it is your choice to start investing more consistently despite the noise that is very loud around you. Or maybe it is simply refusing to wait until you feel richer, fitter, smarter, more powerful before you do anything that is good. Because you might not be able to solve Indonesia's problem alone, neither can I. You may not be able to prevent small children from stunting, neither can 1000 days funds in Indonesia. But you can help one more family get support, one more health workers get trained, one more child receives better nutrition, and that is already worth doing. I don't know how much money we'll raise. Maybe we'll raise about 10 million rupiah, 100 million rupiah, or even 1 billion rupiah, I don't know. But whatever the final number is, it will be more money invested to the children otherwise. And 100% of the public pledges will go to 1000 Days Fund. Recompound will absorb the campaign fees and everything. Starting on 5th July, you'll be able to visit the campaign page, link in the description below, choose your pledge per kilometer, follow the training, and hold me accountable until race day. Again, you don't need to run a marathon to be part of this. You only need to take one action because you are not powerless. Your actions still matter. Cheers.